just inviting me here. Very competent producers. I'm laughing so much here. Thank you so much. So I'm a scientist. I have to show you some data as a start. This is a study done in Till Ronenbach and his colleague in 65,000 European citizens, and simply measuring their sleep hours. And you can see in the x-axis, the bottom, these are the age groups, and then the y-axis is how long you sleep in work days. Okay, next. And then they also survey what do they do in the non-work days, weekends, and things like that. And this data is quite revealing. You see the 3 days, these at different age group, you see the younger the age, they sleep more. And imagine that there's a big gap at younger age groups, and it's very clear. So our lives are governed by 3 clocks. One sun clock, and then there is an internal clock. We've been talking about circadian rhythm. There's an indigenous rhythm going on. But then we also have another clock, social clock. And this social clock forces us certain behavior. Like here, you can see work days is very different than our weekends. And you can also see that gap is much bigger in our teenagers and young adults. And this goes like this, like you work so hard work days, weekend, I want to catch up my sleep without alarm clock. And it's like you're traveling 2-3 hours. And then on Monday, you turn on your alarm clock and you catch up your sleep, but all of a sudden you are very tired. And then you wonder why. It's because this is called social jet lag. So it's like you're traveling California and Washington, D.C. every week. And you wonder why you're so tired. And you also complain about if you have a teenage kids, they're having a hard time waking up in the morning. It's not their fault. It's because our social clock made it that way. We cannot do anything about social clock, sun clock, but we can do something about social clock and our internal clock. That's the point. Next. So circadian rhythm plays, we talk about sleep a lot because that's everyone experience, but there are a lot of diseases and symptoms occur when your internal clock misaligned to sun clock or social clock. Cancer, obesity, diabetes, seasonal depression, night eating syndrome, is all related to broken circadian clock. Everyone travel different time zone, you feel jet lag. So there's a huge need of understanding the mechanism, what is going on. And also there is apparently productivity. If you have a summertime, on and off, you see the next day, the field difference, only 1 hour difference. So circadian clock and circadian rhythm matters to everyone, okay? So we briefly talk about there is a need for understanding the mechanism. We cannot do experiment to human understanding the molecular mechanism, so we turn to a simple fungus. And I've been studying this fungus for over 30 years with all different things, but I really feel like I'm not even scratching the surface. There's so much to learn. This fungus has the same cell type as human, so there are a lot of convenience. It's not even pathogen, not even allergen. It's everywhere, but we use it for studying circadian rhythm. Next. So this is like one way we do. The top, you see their growth in constant condition. You can see their development in every 24 hours, making tons of orange spores. On the bottom, you see the molecular clock. We tie this chemoluminescence into the gene, and we can actually look at their molecular rhythm running, and imagine that we can develop drug to change the internal clock and how they respond to environment. Next. So how understanding this base mechanism help us live healthier and better life? Next. So I want to use just one example that I know there's a lot of debate going on in the US, different states. This is a summertime. And I think there is a consensus now, let's get rid of it. It's just changing twice a year, like 1 hour back and forth. Is so cumbersome, it's not working for many people. But the problem is, which one? Are we using standard time or are we using the summer saving time? So here, I talk about this social clock. This is kind of, we have different time zone. So next. So what happens is in the standard time, the East Coast is quite aligned with our internal clock and sun clock. But when you look at the West Coast, although it's the same time zone, they're still dark. Sun is not up yet. And there's a 1 hour misalignment. And next. So when you have this summertime, actually there's a 2 hour misalignment. And what I'm saying is a standard time, if you think about our human health, is a good idea, but there is a debate going on. A lot of industry want to have a longer sun time in the workforce hours. So there's a debate going on, but if the public understand, we have to make a decision in our social clock whether we make decision for our health or economic gain. This is something that we have to decide. Next. Yes, this is one example that having public understanding circadian rhythm, how it controls our health, and I mentioned about our teenagers having hard time. Why can't we start school late? Because the parents have to work, right? So, but there are European cities now trying to experiment, bring the companies having their time, school, whole system, adjusting circadian rhythm, and everyone is healthier, happier, and the productivity goes up. But that's something that public should understand and think about what decision, what policy, what social clock we want to create. Next.
And that's time. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yes, please. A real question.
How do we as individuals determine our optimal individual circadian rhythm?
Right. So let me just use an example. Everyone, raise your hand if you're taking melatonin. Yeah, I take it. So we know it works, but we don't know how it works. And some people for some people it works, for some people it doesn't work. There is a lot of variation, and one of the reasons is that you have to know your rhythm to really find out when is the optimal time to take it to have a maximum benefit. So, do you have a time limit? Or?
No, yeah, so we can keep it quick. Thank you so much for that answer. Let's get one more question. Yes, Brent.
When is the time when you're going to have a heart attack?
I'm saving my answer because I don't want to be wrong. So, yeah, so there is a certain time of day that occurrences happening more than other time. I think it's early morning time, but I don't want to be wrong, so I didn't answer it what time.